Hello guys, today I'm going to share a manhwa story which will pique your interest. The story starts with a record number 001. A seemingly ordinary day in 2023 took an unforeseen turn as we found ourselves transported to a different realm. Well, to be precise, it wasn't our entire city that was summoned, but rather a part of it. As the records continued, Number 103 informed us that this unfamiliar place was part of a cosmic game controlled by transcendental beings known as the Players. In this game, our city had been designated as nothing more than chess pawns. The story progressed, explaining how these enigmatic players rolled their dice, determining the fate of our city. Wherever the pawn landed, a mission was assigned, one fraught with unimaginable difficulties and excruciating trials. These missions encompass various themes, from battles and investigations to navigating intricate mazes. Our role, as the record stated, was to protect this pawn, our city, guiding it through these treacherous trials, all in pursuit of a finish line whose existence remained uncertain. The game was set, and our fate as pawns had been sealed. Record number 743 bore witness to the grim consequences faced by Pawn number 76 and its fellow pawns. The enigmatic being, amidst a desolate scene adorned with swords and lifeless bodies, revealed the chilling truth. Failing pawns faced a dire fate, one that would ultimately lead to their collapse. This eerie revelation was a somber reminder that their destiny mirrored that of the hapless pawn pieces. The being left behind this haunting record, a dire warning etched in the hopes that someone, anyone, might chance upon it. As the scene unfolded, a pile of notes, each containing the desperate cries and insights of those who had met their end, served as a poignant testament to the unrelenting trials they had faced. The message was clear: at all costs, one must strive to avoid the same fate as those who had come before, lest they too be consigned to the tragic annals of failed pawns. The ominous warning from the unknown god reverberated in the air, emphasizing the stark reality that challenging the players was a futile endeavor. No matter the strength of one's abilities or the grandeur of their weapons, they were but insignificant pieces within this enigmatic game. However, a mysterious figure emerged, undaunted by the god's ominous words. The man, unperturbed by the dire situation, reached out and collected the notes left by the enigmatic being. Intrigued by the content within, the mysterious person couldn't help but marvel at the strategies outlined in the notes. His words were filled with an air of confidence as he acknowledged their value. With an almost casual air, the man tossed the notes back into the shadows, signaling his foreknowledge of their contents. The intrigue deepened, and a sense of uncertainty hung in the air as the enigmatic narrative continued to unfold. As the unknown god unleashed a powerful attack with their formidable weapon, the mysterious person stood resolute, refusing to be a helpless victim. With incredible speed and precision, the man thwarted the deadly assault. Calmly, the mysterious person confronted the god, his words laden with an unshakable confidence. He conveyed that, despite the immense power of the players, there was a means to defeat them, a guidebook of sorts that held the key to their downfall. In a dramatic twist, the mysterious person turned the tables, eliminating the once overwhelming unknown god. With the threat vanquished, the man declared his intention to bring an end to both the players and the mysterious game they were trapped in. The scene transitioned to a contemplative moment as future memories played out like a flashback, leaving a sense of intrigue and anticipation hanging in the air. It was an ordinary day, much like any other, where people went about their business, chatting and socializing in front of a local mart. The atmosphere was peaceful, and nobody anticipated the startling turn of events about to unfold. Suddenly, the tranquility was shattered by a mysterious object plummeting from the sky, crashing to the ground in a shocking spectacle. The impact left the onlookers astounded and bewildered, the sheer scale of the event triggering alarm and fear among those present. Amidst the chaos and confusion, the protagonist, MC, stood in shock, struggling to comprehend the situation. As panic and speculation gripped the nearby crowd, questions raced through their minds. Was it an earthquake? Perhaps a terrorist attack? Or something even more unfathomable? Within MC's thoughts, a notion from the realms of web novels and webtoons crossed their mind: dimensional transportation to an otherworldly realm, or the fabled overworld. The protagonist was thrust into a situation they had only read about in fiction, questioning the reality of the extraordinary events unfolding before their eyes. Suddenly, mysterious panels materialized before the astonished crowd, eliciting a mixture of fear, confusion, and intrigue. The enigmatic message on the panel declared, "The game has begun. Please throw your dice." These words left MC perplexed, struggling to comprehend what kind of game was being referred to. As the people around them reacted with shock and confusion, another person among the crowd pointed to the sky, drawing everyone's attention to an unidentifiable presence descending from above. The sight of this unknown object or phenomenon left many people speechless, their minds racing to comprehend the inexplicable event. Within MC's thoughts, the term, game, continued to baffle them. They wondered about the significance of the dice mentioned on the panel, and the strange, seemingly extraterrestrial occurrences were raising questions about the nature of the world they had found themselves in. Amidst the rising fear and chaos, a colossal dice descended from the heavens and landed with a resounding thud, its face displaying the number 3. The system panel then indicated, "Pawn number 09, move 3 spaces." The ground quaked, and the entire city began to shift, sending shockwaves of panic through the populace. Nearby individuals cried out in fear, exclaiming their dread and anxiety about the unfolding situation. It was a moment of collective terror and bewilderment as the city itself seemed to be in motion, leaving the citizens in a state of profound disarray. MC's mind raced as they pieced together the cryptic puzzle of their situation. They came to a startling realization: they weren't players in this bizarre game, they were mere pawns. It appeared that the player was the one who had summoned them by rolling the enigmatic dice. Puzzled by the player's motives, MC contemplated why their city had been chosen to participate in this otherworldly game. The questions that swirled in their mind painted a disconcerting picture of their newfound reality. In the midst of their contemplation, a system panel emerged, providing essential information to the bewildered crowd. The announcement declared that they had arrived at a defense space, setting the mission's difficulty level to 1. Additionally, it revealed that they had 3 days for the defense mission. The ground beneath them shifted further, causing additional chaos and leaving the onlookers in shock and disbelief. The city's transformation was both a marvel and a source of immense confusion as the citizens grappled with the magnitude of the changes. The system panel's subsequent message cast a shadow of foreboding. It warned that if all 4 bases were destroyed, the game would be deemed a failure. Uncertainty and fear gripped the crowd as they came to terms with the grave responsibility that had been thrust upon them. The announcement echoed throughout the area, confirming the dire consequences of their failure. If the game ended in a loss, the pawn would meet a grim fate. Panic and confusion spread among the nearby players as they grappled with the severity of their predicament. They cried out in despair, demanding answers and expressing their desperation. MC, however, held a glimmer of hope that communication could be established with the mysterious beings behind this enigmatic game. Although they felt a tinge of fear, MC recognized that their best course of action was to focus on the information provided by the system panel. With a sense of trepidation, MC retrieved a dice with 100 faces, pondering the significance of this mysterious item. The system panel continued to guide them, explaining that by rolling the dice, the citizens would receive various equipment based on the result. The classes of equipment ranged from mythical to ordinary, depending on the dice's outcome, offering a glimpse into the challenges they were about to face. As panic spread through the crowd and monsters began to appear, chaos engulfed the area. The sudden influx of these otherworldly creatures had caught the unsuspecting citizens off guard. Panic, confusion, and fear overwhelmed the people as they attempted to flee the scene, some suffering injuries in their desperate escape. MC, however, was struck by one of these fearsome creatures, sustaining an injury to the head that left them bleeding. It was in this dire moment that a mysterious figure, seemingly possessing incredible powers, emerged. With a powerful swing of their weapon, they struck the ground, creating a fiery tornado that consumed the monsters. The blaze of the tornado proved to be a formidable force, instantly incinerating the menacing creatures and restoring a semblance of order. Amidst the awe and relief felt by the survivors, MC couldn't help but ponder the nature of their situation. This was undoubtedly a game orchestrated by beings beyond their comprehension, beings that might be likened to gods or demons. The fate of the city and its people seemed to hinge on their ability to fulfill the role assigned to them, and the appearance of powerful individuals hinted at the hidden complexities of this dice game. The unexpected savior's arrival and the subsequent defeat of the monstrous invaders left the survivors in awe. Questions and confusion buzzed through the crowd as they tried to make sense of this otherworldly calamity. They needed guidance, and it came in the form of a system panel that displayed vital information. The panel introduced the enigmatic hero as Go Hyju, an ordinary citizen who possessed extraordinary powers. She wielded a legendary class weapon, the Empirical Flame Dragon K9, a spear that granted her the abilities of the Empirical Flame Dragon. Her prowess was evident in the swift annihilation of the monsters. Go Hyju took charge, directing those who were injured to seek refuge in Namsan Tower, where the military and police were establishing a defense line. She also urged the survivors to roll their dice, explaining that the outcome would determine the quality of equipment they would receive. Those who obtained anything above magical class equipment were called upon to assist her. Amidst the uncertainty and chaos, Go Hyju's leadership inspired hope in the survivors, and they followed her lead. Ordinary citizens were beginning to transform into heroes in the face of this extraordinary crisis. It was the start of a new year they would never forget, a day when their ordinary lives were left behind, and the era of heroes was born. In the midst of the turmoil and chaos, a new character emerged, Choi Hyul. Despite being labeled as an ordinary citizen, he carried an air of determination that hinted at untapped potential. On this eighth pawn, he had a destiny that would set him apart from others, even if they would later brand him as the worst ever garbage. When Choi Hyul cast his dice and obtained the coveted number 100, something extraordinary occurred. A mystical book materialized before him, unveiling its identity in the system panel. It was none other than the Demon King of Sovereignty, Kristina's book, a mythical class magic text. This arcane tome granted Choi Hyul access to a vast repository of knowledge, allowing him to glean insights into item locations, hidden events, monster information, maps, and mission objectives. However, the dark shadow of Kristina loomed over this power, for the text bore a warning: any rewards earned by survivors through its knowledge would be funneled back to the book's owner. As the scene drew to a close, Choi Hyul's newfound abilities and the enigmatic nature of Kristina's book set the stage for a perilous yet promising journey in the world that had been reshaped into a game of life and death. As the defense mission unfolded, the grim toll on the city's inhabitants became evident. Thousands had perished, and many more suffered injuries in their valiant struggle to protect the city from the relentless onslaught of monsters. Tragically, one of the bases had succumbed to the monsters' assault. Amid the chaos and devastation, the resilient survivors rallied, their determination unwavering. When the worst seemed to have passed, a ray of hope emerged. A military bus arrived on the scene, bearing the emblem of the Korean Army. Its purpose was clear: to provide assistance and evacuation for the injured and civilian survivors. Soldiers from the Korean Army stepped forward, offering refuge and aid. They guided those who had been wounded and the remaining civilians onto the bus, which would transport them to the safety of Namsan Tower. Among those who had distinguished themselves in the battle, Go Hyju stood. Despite her own fatigue, she dismissed the praise, embodying the spirit of a true hero. And in this moment, the unassuming Kwon Jae-young, a normal civilian thrust into extraordinary circumstances, was revealed. His character sheet displayed his level 1 status and civilian class, signifying his nascent journey in this new, perilous world. Kwon Jae-young, with his hero rank helmet and unwavering faith, reassured the group about the organization of the military and police. Though the absence of working phones and the internet made assessing the situation challenging, the use of shortwave radios offered a glimmer of hope, promising soon-to-arrive situation reports from various locations. The group decided to head to Namsan Tower to regroup. However, their moment of respite was short-lived. MC's sudden revelation sent shockwaves through the group as they learned about the impending boss monster's arrival. With the mission information, monster data, and the city's current defense status at their disposal, they knew they were facing a formidable adversary, one that could threaten their very survival. The book obtained from the mysterious dice held the key to their continued existence in this new, perilous world. MC's excitement met with bafflement from the others as they saw only a blank paper in the book. Even Go Haiju, with her legendary class spear, couldn't perceive the contents. The nature of the book was revealed as Choi suggested that perhaps only MC could decipher it. Kwon Jae-young's thoughts echoed Choi's sentiment, acknowledging that in this strange new world, information was a powerful tool, and they needed proof of the book's unique contents. Thus, MC was prompted to share the book's hidden knowledge to provide his companions with the information they would need to face the impending challenges. Choi, reading from the enigmatic book, unraveled some startling information about their group. They discovered that Heldon's helmet was a part of a 6-item set, and Sergeant Kwon Jae-young was the user, with only 21 days left until his supposed discharge. Go Haiju, on the other hand, possessed a legendary class weapon named Empirical Flame Dragon Prominence's K9 and had the unexpected detail of her favorite karaoke song, Shogap Mountain, revealed. This revelation left her flustered, but it confirmed the book's reliability as a data book. Kwon Jae-young, realizing the power of this newfound information, decided to contact HQ for further verification, while Choi and the others waited with a sense of anticipation. As Choi Il prepared to address their group and provide information about the upcoming defense mission, the scene shifted to a patient, heavily bandaged and restrained. The patient contemplated their existence in this strange world, comparing themselves to a bug character, and pondering their isolation from the rest of the world. Kwon Jae-young then interrupted, calling out to Choi Il, and informed them that HQ had granted permission to proceed with their plan, acknowledging that they had no other alternatives and couldn't afford to waste time. Kwon Jae-young expressed trust in Choi's data and requested them to share as much information and countermeasures as possible. With the stage set, Choi Il initiated a microphone test and began to explain the details of the defense mission. They described the need to protect the base from waves of monsters that arrived every 6 hours, with a wave boss at the end of each cycle. The ultimate objective was to defend the base 4 times a day, totaling 12 times in 3 days, and defeat the wave boss for victory. As Choi Il began to discuss their plan for the defense mission and expressed their intent to find a way back to their original world, Go Haiju couldn't help but notice that this person was not just focused on the mission but also on the future beyond it. In a separate scene, the owner of Choi's book, the Demon God of Sovereignty, made a crucial revelation in their writing. They expressed regret for not double-checking certain information in the past. They specifically mentioned the information about Book Christina, which had the ability to monopolize all the rewards of those who received the information. This reach of the information extended not only to those who heard it directly from the demon god but also to those who learned of it through rumors and other sources. The demon god of sovereignty revealed that a staggering 91% of the population in this world had been recorded as sacrifices in just 1 day, marking the beginning of their sins, which were destined to continue until the very end of this game. So what do you guys think will happen in next episode? Will Choi gets a power-up? Comment down below. See you in the next episode.